Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
It's Bound for Glory predictions time for hair versus Fake Adores Hair. He's somewhere over there. I'm Ollie Davis. This is the other one, Luke Owen. Welcome to the WrestleRamble, which today is sponsored by Fight Forever. That's right, it's a new UK promotion. Their run of dates is from the 6th to the... I've got my little cheat sheet here. To the 9th of December
I'm here to help.
in Birmingham, London, Bristol and Liverpool. And you've got Cody Rhodes, Flip Gordon, Jimmy Havoc.
Zach Gibson.
your-
Liverpool's number one, Zach
main
Gibson.
man. And it's not just wrestling shows. There'll be a live something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard afterwards for you to be in attendance with. And then after parties with Papa Shango or The Godfather. Spoiler, they're the same guy. But, you know, the same guy who owns a strip club in his real-life day job.
Yes.
So that's probably going to be a hell of an after-party. Click the links in the video description below to get your tickets now, or follow Fight Forever on Facebook or Twitter. It's Fight Forever UK on Twitter and Fight Forever Wrestling on Facebook. Let's kick off with some Bound for Glory predictions. There's a lot on the hairline here.
Nice. I like what you did there. Very nice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so it's Bound for Glory this Sunday, in fact, tomorrow, in fact. I'm really looking forward to this show.
Yes.
I really liked Slammiversary. I thought Slammiversary, top to bottom, T to B, was a great show.
As was Redemption.
Yes.
What was it, Redemption? Yeah, that was whatever the show was before Slammiversary, with that great OVE versus Eddie Edwards Moose and Tommy Dreamer match.
Yeah, really good stuff.
And that had Pentagon and Aries as well.
That did, yes, that's the one
yeah.
where Pentagon won the belts. Some really good stuff on this card. So let's dive in and see what we've got. There's 6 matches as well, which we were talking about this. I think we're so conditioned to the way that WWE book shows with their 15 match cards over 4 hours that when we read there's only 6 matches, we went, it's got to be a mistake. There's something wrong with this.
They've only announced 6 matches,
What
and this is the go-home week.
What a terrible idea this is. But actually, now I think about it, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is lovely stuff.
It was like 6 to 8 matches is how pay-per-views or match cards are usually run.
Yeah.
That's, 2.5 to 3 hours. You give everyone about half an hour. That's including entrances and video packages.
Yep.
And you get 15 to 20 minutes of actual wrestling.
Lovely stuff. So let's kick off then
What a delight.
with Matt Sydal and Ethan Page versus Rich Swann and TBA. So a mystery partner for Richard Swann.
Vacant.
Could be vacant. I suppose really this is just like, get people on the card, get a fun opener, because this will be a fun tag
Yes,
match
definitely.
opener. What are you
Especially
thinking?
Seidel and Swan in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are you thinking?
Well, I must admit, Impact sometimes for me is like NXT, where I don't watch the week to week, and it kind of drops out of existence in my head sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But then a pay-per-view happens or an NXT takeover, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! I should do this all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I know what the main storylines are. I'm sorry to say, I don't know these storylines. So I'm just going to go for my boy Rich Swann.
As am
and
I.
my even bigger boy, Vacant.
Yeah, I'm also going for Rich and Vacant.
Big
Also,
fan of Vacant.
I would also say as well, when you have a surprise, the surprise is usually there to win. You remember, or like a replacement? They always say like a replacement's bound to win. Coming up next is Tessa Blanchard versus Taya Valkyrie for the Impact Knockout Championship.
This is an interesting one. So
Yeah.
Blanchard is the champion at the moment. I hadn't seen a great deal of her, but she was so good at All In that women's 4-way. But Taya Valkyrie, I've actually seen a lot of, because the AAA had the English commentary done very close to where we used to work. And when I say very close, I mean through the next room with a glass panel in.
Where we used to record the old WrestleRamble set was where AAA commentary was recorded.
That was the same VO booth. So
Yes.
I'm very familiar with Valkyrie, and she's very, very good. She's considered as one of the legends of AAA. And she's the real-life wife of Johnny Impact. Yeah. Johnny Impact is making his return into Impact, because he wasn't Johnny Impact for a bit. He was just Johnny whatever.
In Impact, he is Johnny Impact, but elsewhere he is Johnny Mundo or what have you. As Austin Aries would call him, Johnny Jack of all trades, master of none.
It's just, I'm such a big fan of consistency. And this is not a consistent name.
It is really not.
And I think, I get what he's doing, and you just become like the generic guy, the generic top guy for each promotion because you've got the promotion in your last name. I don't like it.
No,
I don't like this gimmick.
I'm massively not keen on it either.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for
Sure.
for actually his match.
So, well, it ties in because I don't think spoiler. I don't think Johnny's winning the title here in the main event. So to have like this power couple come in and they both lose title matches, I think that's, you don't really want to do that. So I think Taya's going to go over because Su Yung is going to somehow interfere in this match. Our girl Su Yung.
Yes. I am actually going the other way. I'm going for a Tessa Blanchard retention. I've actually just written, Valkyrie, this is why you do the typing. My reason for that is I think the Impact are really, really high on Tessa at the moment. Like, she's come into the company, won the belt like almost instantaneously. And I think, you're absolutely rightly so, like, she's such an imposing figure. She looks fantastic. She's got such a great look, a great presence about her. And I think that she's almost like a great face, like a great face for your division. Not baby face, but certainly a good face for your division.
But it's like, do you want to go for the face, or do you want to have her on the chase
or
for
is
the
she
undeserving cocky
Well,
champion?
I mean, I don't know, because like I just think that I think that they're so high on Tessa Blanchard at the moment, and it's almost too early to take the belt off of her. So I'm going with a Tessa Blanchard retention. That's where I'm sticking. Coming up next, we've got.
I kind of want to lose. Because our new haircuts are quite itchy.
I was going to say, you're not enjoying the new haircut. I mean, I've not really been enjoying it that much.
I love the way it looks, but to wear it for a while would be
Yeah.
But hey, we're the king of the punishments on YouTube. WrestleTalk does the best punishment, the most savage punishments anywhere on YouTube.
So
outrageous.
So we actually got this, like, when we do our like Ask Us Anything in the comments and we'll reply to them in our news episodes, someone did ask us, like, why don't you do punishments anymore? It's like, because really it just makes your predictions videos redundant and pointless.
We do the most savage punishments. That's why we're doing hair versus hair versus hair.
My answer, aside from the fact that obviously we are doing the brutal hair versus hair versus hair, savage. I'd also say it's because we're rubbish at doing punishments and things like that. Do you remember when we went through a run of about 4 months where we kept saying, like, oh, there's a punishment, and then we just never did it?
Yeah, because we were quite a small team and we didn't actually have the resources to film those punishments. Plus, like, we like each other. I think all the Coldaholic guys hate each other, and this is just a way to vent their sexual frustration that's boiling in the office between them all.
Also, and I get that it's a punishment, you're not supposed to like it, but I just don't want to do them. Apart from obviously the hair versus hair versus hair.
Which is the most savage thing
that anyone could possibly do.
Well, a lot of people are calling us now the big punishment channels. So, and I totally see why.
I think it was written in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the title's now switched hands, and now we are known as the biggest punishment guys.
Most savage.
Absolutely, yeah. Coming up next, it's the former best friends fighting against each other. It's not a women's match in WWE. It's Eddie Edwards versus Moose.
So this is like because you've been given a reason to care about Moose and Eddie as best friends, and then they seemed like friends. They weren't just Nia Jax needs a way to come back from injury, so Ember Moon is going to reintroduce her, and now they're bezies.
Yeah,
but there was no indication of that beforehand.
Bestie for business.
Besties for best.
Anyway, Eddie Edwards versus Moose. What are your thoughts? Actually, I mean, I'll go first on this one. So Moose obviously had the heel turn. He's now aligned himself with Austin Aries.
He's really good.
He's very good as a heel.
I like him as a heel.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say that because Moose is one of those perennial baby faces for me.
Yeah, and we had a lot of fun with him at Wrestling MediaCon when he came to film some stuff with us, because he's essentially just punished you now that he is a heel, and it was just really fun working with him on that, because I wasn't the one that was pulling the weights.
Savage.
And I think so. Eddie's very good. We saw him at MediaCon, and he was just awesome in that match. Really, really, really great. And I'm torn on this one, but I think I'm going to go with Edwards. I'm going to go with an Eddie Edwards win. What are you saying?
Because this is like the first pay-per-view of the Aries Moose cross faction. So I don't really want them to lose at all. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say Moose.
Okay.
Also, I love Eddie Edwards. I adore like Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards as the American Wolves. Not in Impact, but in ROH back in like 2010 or whatever it was such a big part of me really getting into, like, really obsessively back into wrestling as an adult. And obviously Eddie's amazing in the ring, but I'm not really into the whole jeans look.
Yeah.
But it's not just the jeans look, it's the larger character. I'm like, well done for trying to shake something up, but for me, the thing is shaken up wasn't broken, and this isn't as good. So yeah, but Moose has shaken it up and very much succeeded. Definitely Moose for me.
So you're saying you want him to be Eddie Edwards, not Tommy Dreamer, because that's essentially what he has become. Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer in 2018. Right, coming up next is the match that I think I'm probably most excited about on this whole card. It's Ohio versus everything. Dave and Jake Christ with our friend Sami Callihan versus Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, and the very big man, Brian Cage, the X Division champion. So no X Division championship match on this show because Brian is in this 6-man tag. And this is you wrote it down, but you haven't got your notes with you. But it's an Ohio Death Street fight.
No, I think you're thinking of the LAX match.
Has this not got a gimmick title to it as well?
Concrete.
I know that's got the Concrete Jungle match. I thought this also had a gimmick's name.
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be blood everywhere.
Oh, I mean,
that's
yeah, absolutely.
the gimmick.
Yeah, the
blood
gimmick is
everywhere.
Lots of bloods.
Yeah, So we watched this big video package, like it's a half-hour long recap thing.
20 minutes of which was for Johnny Impact and Austin Aries.
And man, I'm really hyped for this pay-per-view, and this...
It's an OVE rules match, I knew it had a gimmick.
OVE rules. And this is like one of the chief reasons why, because Callahan, for me, has stolen every Impact pay-per-view. Like, he is the Tommaso Ciampa of Impact.
Yeah.
And everyone always comes away talking about him. It was Callahan and Edwards, that feud from Redemption, in that 6-man tag. It was Callahan and Pentagon at Sacrifice.
Slammiversary.
Slammiversary. I knew it was an S one. And now I think it's going to be here as well.
And
this is going to be
Pentagon
chaos.
And Phoenix as well, the other show as well. Like, amazing stuff.
And Callahan and Phoenix had that great TV match.
Yeah. So I'm super looking forward to this. I've totally turned a corner on Sami Callihan this year. He's become one of like my favorite guys in wrestling. Not just because like he's a big fan of us. It's just he's such an amazing heel. He's so incredible. You and I, when we did the review of that 6-man tag match, and actually when we did the review of the Pentagon match from Slammiversary for Ramble Club's Patreon podcast, you and I just could not stop talking about how like he might be the best heel in professional wrestling.
Yeah, like pure heel.
Like pure heel. He is easy like in the top 2 or 3 like heels in the world.
It's him and Ciampa.
Yeah, it's him and Ciampa,
and
really.
Like Jay White has entered in the top 10. Like Jay White's just entered. I don't know who the others are. I'll make a list video.
Perhaps, yeah.
But make the best list videos on YouTube as well. Now.
Yeah, that's what we also do.
Yeah.
But I'm also a massive, massive fan of the Lucha Brothers. In particular, Pentagon Jr. I think Penta is absolutely awesome. He's so good. And Phoenix moves like no one else in this world. Like he's just so bendy and flippy, and it's incredible.
I feel like Phoenix gets a short stick of it because
doesn't he just?
He's so good.
I know.
But Pentagon has something.
Yeah.
Like he has something that elevates him beyond.
He's got 0 Fs.
Incredibly talented.
And he's got 0 fear to give.
He's got zero fears. And Phoenix is incredible.
Yeah.
And Brian Cage is just. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had him as an action figure when I was a kid. Time Traveling Ollie gave that to young Ollie.
Yeah. El Fakador brilliantly described him. Like, so we were watching this video package, and it was a clip of him doing a big flip dive over the ropes. And Laurie described it as an airplane off a short runway.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a large man, and yet he flies really, really well. It's an impressive sight, is old Brian Cage. But who are you going with in this this OVE rules match, aside from There Will Be Blood?
Okay, so OVE don't win a lot in pay-per-view. So those two I've spoken about, they lost the first...
And Callahan lost to Phoenix.
And Callahan lost to Pentagon.
And Phoenix.
But like OVE is such a good act. Like they're one of those acts that isn't harmed by losing. At least now, for me, that maybe that will change, because if you keep beating people, you get the Wyatt family. OVE, because they should get a win by now. Really.
I'm also going for OVE in this one, and as I said, like this is the match I'm most looking forward to on this show.
LAX versus OGs.
Well, that's what we're coming to next. It's the Latin American Exchange, LAX, Santana Ortiz, and Conan stepping into an Impact Wrestling ring for the first time in 10 years.
Hopefully he throws a shoe. Who throws a shoe?
Honestly.
For people who are not familiar, Conan used to throw his shoes in matches back in the day.
We recently, for WrestleRamble Extra, reviewed TNA Unbreakable 2005, which was featured the 3 Live crew in the opening match, which was Conan with Road Dogg and K Quick, Ron the Truth Killings, R-Truth. And
sounds like there were just 3 men in there.
So many people. Yeah. It was like, and it was... And it was brilliant because it was Conan throwing shoes, and it's like put over this massive thing that he throws a shoe. He's bound to throw a shoe. He's not bound for glory. He's bound for shoes.
He's a unit.
He's a unit as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him wrestle. But there's going to be so many smoke and mirrors in this. Like,
I haven't finished the match yet, though. Sorry. It is LAX, Santana Ortiz, and Conan versus the OGs, Homicide, Hernandez, and King.
I think of all these in terms of backstage segments, of which some have been inspired and others are sort of going into that more goofy style. But I guess if you see this feud as a telenovela soap opera thing, which I think is what they're going for, well done. Like, that's exactly what you've created.
I think they think it's The Sopranos, though.
Yeah, I mean, you get hopefully they don't think that.
We look at it as Days of Our Lives.
I used to work on a telenovela channel.
Did you?
Yeah, it was one of the things, like, not like just managing the transmission of it, nothing behind the scenes, but they're fast. They have a huge crime element to it. Like, it's, we've got EastEnders.
I take it back then. Okay,
we've got EastEnders. They'll have like freaking FBI shootouts at funerals. The most telenovela thing I'd ever seen was an estranged couple having a shootout over a coffin at a funeral that was being lowered, and eventually they end up kissing.
You sure that wasn't an Eli Roth movie?
No, that was this telenovela, and then at the end they did the end credits, and because like this was a long running one that I'd only just seen, and the end credits had all this stuff going on. I was like, what? Is this just this episode, or is this just the standard credits thing? And it ends with a lady in a wheelchair going down a hill into a stream. So anyway, they've created a crime telenovela.
Yeah,
and like they've done that very well, I think, to stay true to that, especially if you're going for that audience as well.
Yeah.
But for me, when it pays off as a wrestling match, I think for me that doesn't quite work, because you've said this is goofy and.
Yeah, it is. I'm in agreement with you. I think some of the stuff they've done is very, very good. Like, I really enjoyed like the sort of fighting on the street. But then when it's like they run over a kid, and then you have like the crime syndicate.
I like the crime syndicate.
I liked the let's call it ceasefire. It's just like these sort of like caricatures sitting there with their drinks in a bar and just being like, we want you to have a ceasefire.
I like that bit.
I don't know. For me, it's very much on that border.
It's I like it, but then I'm like, well, now you've got to have a match, and that's where it gets weird.
I don't mind that.
Oh,
bit.
okay.
That's not. I don't really mind that bit. But it's almost like, do you remember the Honest trailer for Pacific Rim, where they were like, it really borders the line so well on like, this is awesome and this is so dumb. Like these, I think like, we're right on the border with this. And my other concern, I suppose, I have about this match, and this was what happened at Slammiversary as well, is that a Concrete Jungle Death match and the OVE rules match will more or less be the same thing. And I think that the LAX and the OGs match from SummerSlam, from Slammiversary,
from
Sacrifice, ended up getting overshadowed because of the Pentagon Sami Callihan match that came after it. Because it was like directly afterwards. And which is a shame, because that LAX OGs match was absolutely awesome. And my worry is this one just going to get overshadowed again with the OVE rules match?
Usually, I'd agree. If this was a WWE pay-per-view, it's like, why are you putting on 5 Hell in a Cell matches back to back?
Mm-hmm.
But Impact have proven themselves to me. Like they've got a track record of this, of putting like these killer matches next to each other with kind of similar hardcore stipulations, and me loving it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say I'm all for it. And you know, if a match overshadows your match because that's really good and your match is really good too, I've got no problem with everyone trying to have great matches.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I've got nothing to say. Nothing against that, absolutely. Yeah. But who are you saying with LAX and the OGs?
Gotta go with the OGs because I was just so impressed with them in the Jody Fleisch Johnny Storm match that we saw live.
That was LAX.
Oh, of course. LAX. I mean LAX. I got.
Okay.
My mind went.
You went the other way.
Yeah.
You went
the wrong thing.
You said the original LAX.
Yes.
Well, that's what you were thinking of. Yeah, I mean, I'm also going with LAX in this. I've really enjoyed Homicide and Hernandez coming back as as the original LAX, and it's been as really, because I was such a mark for LAX back in the day, back in the old TNA days. So it's been really awesome seeing them, and I love Hernandez, big Super Mex, big fan of his. But I think this is really going to boil down to Conan versus King. They did that great angle where they burned Conan's mask. And I think this is going to come down to Conan King and probably Conan winning via shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The steel shoe. I can't remember if I said it. Eddie Kingston is superb. He's
really good in this role. Yeah. And in our main event, it is the aforementioned Johnny Impact challenging for the Impact World Championship against Austin Aries, with the stipulation that Moose and Cross will not be at ringside.
So is that a stipulation, or is that just Aries saying that's his word?
Well, I mean, it's written here in our document that that's what it is. But
I think I wrote that down.
Did you write that down?
Yeah, that was me, because that's what he said in a promo, which to me says they're totally getting... Like, I think this match will be structured with Aries and Impact trying to beat each other fairly, and Aries just won't be able to do it, and he'll get in trouble, and that's when he'll break, and he'll cool the guys down, and they interfere, and Aries retains.
You're going with Austin
Aries?
Aries?
I said that earlier.
Yeah.
I don't think Impact's winning.
I'm actually going for Impact.
No.
I think I'm actually going to go with J-Boy.
I think you're trying to lose.
No, I think that I don't know, man. Like, they're really, because Johnny Impact, he didn't win the big one last year. It almost feels like that's the story they're telling us. Like, he didn't do it last year, so he is going to do it this year. And it feels like that's the story we're telling here.
He's bound for glory.
Yeah, but I don't know if Impact is staying around. The Johnny Impact, not the TV show, is staying around or the company is staying around for a long period of time. But I just feel like this is, I almost feel like this is Impact's time to win. But I think
we should start saying Johnny, because it just does make... This is
this
another problem with your gimmick, Johnny.
This is why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
This is why I don't think it's a very good name. Stick with Johnny Mundo. That's fine.
So, yeah.
That's
those are things. They're the predictions.
We did them good. It's time for your crap gimmicks. If you're wondering what the heck is a crap gimmick is a section we do here every single Saturday on the WrestleRamble, where you, the SWAF Nation, submit to us your crap gimmick submissions for crap gimmick wrestling, and then we decide if we want to sign them or not to crap gimmick wrestling. What's a crap gimmick, I hear you ask? Well, we like to think of it as that old WWF mentality of you are a wrestler and a blank, or you could be more abstract than that and just something that's a bit rubbish and could be, a lot of fun. So here we are. Our first submission is, if you want to send them in, it's luke@wrestletalk.com. That's luke@wrestletalk.com. One more time, luke@wrestletalk.com. Name it's crap gimmick wrestling or CGW submission.
That is, you've taken the Michael Cole route of promotion there.
Well, it's because you have to, because otherwise I get messages like, where do you send them? Where do I send them?
Well, they're filtering out their rubbish submissions.
And we do have a massive backlog of them. Currently over 250 submissions at the moment. So I'm in the middle of July in terms of where we are at the moment.
It's a hot summer.
It's currently October. So this one comes in from Web Death. He says, "Greetings, Luke and Ollie. Web Death here from the United States. I have for you The Boxer. First of all, there would be teaser promos where you would see on the Titantron screens how the Boxer is coming to deliver pain soon, with these words on a brown coloured background. The announcers would be baffled about who this person is, except for one announcer who would be talking him up like, "Oh yeah, no, I know this guy, he's great. I've seen him on YouTube, you just wait and see. He's going to deliver some awesome results." Then they would start to show interview segments of a 25-year-old looking man, clean shaven, with an average but short haircut. Nothing stands out. Each of the interview shots would only be showing the Boxer from the neck up. Finally, when the night arrives for his first match, he would come out to no music. The full description of the Boxer would be an average build man wearing a brown shirt and brown pants with brown socks and brown shoes. Think a UPS delivery man carrying a box to the ring with a signing sheet of some kind. Most of the announcers would be extremely confused, asking, "Who's this guy? Where's the Boxer?" And that one announcer who's been promoted to him going like, "How silly are you? That is the Boxer."
My head hurts. It's making my head hurt.
So he has this whole thing about he would start off by handing them the box and they would have to require to sign for this box. If the Boxer is able to get some offense in, he would usually go to the top rope for his semi-finisher, the flying package, which would be a flying neck breaker that he would transition to a small package pin attempt. For his actual finisher, the Boxer would use a guillotine choke that he would rename Stuffing the Box. After the match, he would straighten up his clothes, grab his signing list, then proceed to run up the ramp at a sprint, always complaining about being late for his next delivery.
That's really good. You got me. You got me there.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that delivery.
Yeah.
I really thought you were going for a boxer who fights in the ring, like a combat athlete.
And I'll be honest. So when I was obviously I read through all the submissions. If your submission doesn't get selected or doesn't make it through, it's no offense to anyone. It's just that it
wasn't good enough.
It essentially boils down to. And I was reading through this one, and often at times when people start booking stories for them, I start to drift off a little bit. But this one really got me.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Nice swerve.
And I laughed out loud.
I mean, there's quite, because delivery people have a very tough job. That is a very thankless job, especially with Amazon and Deliveroo and people getting attacked on mopeds and stuff. But they are kind of annoying when they don't leave stuff where you tell them to, and they won't post stuff through your letterbox even though it fits, and you have to go and collect it from the post office the next day. Which puts me out.
Ollie recently had to go and do this because his copy of White Dwarf, which would have fit through his letterbox, was not put through the letterbox.
Yeah.
And why wasn't it not put through the letterbox?
Because they put it in a box.
Yeah.
They put it in a box. It was just a magazine.
And the box was too big for your letterbox.
Yeah. That isn't the delivery guy's fault. Anyway, so what I'm saying is...
It's Games Workshop's fault, what you're saying.
The boxer character, he could the guy... Their opponent would come down to the ring, but they'd only find a note. Sorry, we missed you. You couldn't rearrange this match online.
Yeah.
Or you can collect it in 48 business hours.
I like that. That's very good, yeah. Or have a match at the post office. Yeah. And there's loads of gimmick matches you can do around the Boxer as well. There's his specific rules.
I like that.
Next is from Campbell Allen Granger, sent on July 15th. Lou Pine. Lou Pine is a skinny, ineffectual jobber. Think early days James Ellsworth. He never wins a single match and is used as a punching bag by the heels. Nevertheless, he's a nice chap and a typical underdog. He's also hairier than your dad. However, Lou just happens to be a werewolf, and any show that takes place during a full moon, he would come out in his wolf form. This will be actually a different wrestler wearing a wolf mask, so he's all jacked up and strong as hell. In werewolf form, Lou is undefeated and heels get their comeuppance at his hand. Indeed, when the GM tells a heel that he's facing Lou, his face will either glow in delight as an easy win or turn dark at the thought of the beating he'll receive. His theme music is Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran, but if he's a wolf, it's Of Wolf and Man by Metallica. He finishes off his opponent with a full moonsault. When he tries as a human, it's a waning moonsault and it doesn't quite connect.
He could be our big dog.
Yeah.
Couldn't he? That's good.
A literal big dog, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, 2 strong submissions thus far.
Oh, man.
Well, here, see if Jacob Simmons from July 16th can top that. Dear Luke and Ollie, I have been a crap gimmick fan since day one and have finally plucked up the courage to submit my own idea. Let's hope it's worth the wait. Her name is Crystal Ball, and she dresses like your stereotypical fairground palm reader. Long billowing cloak, a veil, and of course, a crystal ball which she uses to see into the future. She starts life in crap gimmick wrestling as a manager, helping wrestlers who are down on their luck turn their careers around by correctly predicting their opponent's moves before they make them. She stands at ringside during her clients' matches and tells them to do based on what she sees in her crystal ball. Because of her amazing ability to always predict the future of matches, she quickly becomes one of the most popular and coveted managers in the promotion, something she is delighted with. However, a few months into our run, Crystal's reign on top comes under threat by a new manager, Clairvoyant, who is also a psychic. Claire claims that she can read the future much clearer than Crystal and interferes in her clients' matches without them realize to discredit Crystal and steal her customers. Eventually, the 2 psychics become so enraged at one another that they are booked in a crystal ball on a pole match. However, the match is so very teaser fair because both women can predict what the other is going to do, so the match is entirely counters and reversals.
Very good. Like it when you start with a pun and you work your way back.
Yep.
So Clairvoyant got me going there. But this is a strong week.
Very strong
and we've
week.
got
Lupine
and the Boxer. So this is like what you've done there is you've booked a story with 2 characters.
It's only a short run thing.
Yeah, rather than an actual character that we can really run with. And I don't like ones where we get quite a few of these in different guises where it's they know what the other person's going to do. Ha ha ha. I don't think there's much mileage in that.
Yes.
So I'm unfortunately going to say no to that. Man, but Boxer or Pine?
Do you want both?
No, I want Boxer.
Yeah, you don't want Pine?
I think Boxer's... Pine's good, though.
Pine's very good. Let's just sign both of
We
them.
can't. No, that's the point. It's a game.
It's a game that we made up. We can change the rules.
We've got to stick to the rules.
Okay.
It means more if we can't just have everyone getting signed.
Oh man, I wish I'd saved Lupine. Then I'd have done him in a different week. Actually, I'd have done him in last week. Last week's wasn't as strong.
You know what? As much as I love the Boxer,
there's more mileage in Lupine.
like Lupine is essentially
Plus
Finn Balor.
You said you could do 2 trading cards as well.
Yeah. Or on the back.
Yeah.
Or
a holographic one.
Yeah, one that changes.
Yeah.
I'm sure our artist Lewis Tillett has the resources to do that and print them for everyone who wants one.
Yeah.
So we need a Finn Balor. So
Lupine it is.
Lupine,
Congratulations. If you want to submit a question to the mailbag, all you have to do is become one of our awesome pledge hammers over on Patreon at any dollar amount and leave your question there in our wicked cool community section. This one comes in from Marcel Drurer, who gets in touch with us quite a bit on Twitter as well. He says, "Hi, my favorite podcasters. No matter if we liked Hell in a Cell, we can all agree it was a lengthy show. And let's be honest, so are all WWE pay-per-views in recent time. So we can all agree we don't need longer pay-per-views, longer Raw episodes, or more special events like the overload they're having right now. But a problem that I see is there's so much talent wasted. Names like Finn Balor, The Bar, The Revival, Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, The Usos, Ember Moon, Bobby Roode, Bray Wyatt. He's written Levin Owens, I think he means Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley are all names that would make a huge impact for shows like All In, but didn't have anything to do on the pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, and in some cases don't have a pay-per-view match in a long, long time. Since there is no big release wave this year, the WWE roster is stacked with potential, but mostly misbooked main eventers, and with the talent pool in NXT, the numbers are just going to grow. My question is, what is the solution? Would a mass release be actually a good thing for the current state of the indie scene? Should WWE open another brand? They would have to have enough people to fill the roster. Should certain people simply ask for their release and look for opportunities elsewhere? It's from Marcel.
It's a big question, Marcel.
Yeah, it really is.
WWE is the greedy kid on the playground with the richest parents, and he's not only... Well, he can't make any of his own toys like you do, so he comes around and buys yours up.
Yeah.
And now he has all the toys, and eventually there's going to come a point where the indies can't generate talent
quick enough
because it's not just NXT. You've got NXT UK. I'm sure they'll open up other territories like that, and that's just going to soak up more people. So, we are in danger of, and as soon as performers go to WWE, they become, like Laurie said earlier. What did he say? Brainwashing training is essentially NXT, where all that cool stuff you were doing outside, you make it more like our way.
Yeah.
And that fits the house style, but it does lose elements of individuality which were so appealing outside of the company. So God, as an answer, I don't think the other problem is it's not like WWE uses its best wrestlers. It's got lots of subpar wrestlers up there. Like, just look at the women's division and all the legends they've brought back. And Baron Corbin, although I enjoy him, he's not like his character is almost anti-smart indie fan. So yeah, I don't know. I want them all to. You know what? The answer is to have another big company, but not attached to WWE. And then hopefully that will create competition, and a lot of these guys will be like, I'm not getting used here, I'll go over there.
And that's the way it worked in the Monday Night Wars. It was always just like, I can earn more money over here, or I'm getting better opportunities over here, I'm not being used correctly over here, I'm going to go elsewhere. And and the case is that they could ask for their release and try their opportunity on the indies. It has worked for Cody, but can you say the same for 100 other guys that have tried to do it?
Jack Swagger,
yeah, exactly. All these guys that thought, I was a big name in WWE, a big-ish name in WWE, Ryback certainly was, and I can easily get bookings elsewhere, and they haven't, and they've just sort of like fizzled off into obscurity. So there is, you almost do have to like, can I take that opportunity? I don't think opening up another brand is an option. I mean, you say we don't need lengthy Raws and lengthy pay-per-views, and you're right. The last thing we need also is another TV show. Now they've announced NXT UK. There's 4 TV shows that happen on Wednesday nights alone. So yeah, I don't think we need another brand opening up. But I don't want to see guys lose their jobs. It's a difficult one. And I don't think that them having a massive roster is an issue. It's just how you manage and use that roster. I think cycling out talent isn't always the worst thing.
Yeah, there's enough people. Maybe give the guys a holiday once in a while.
There it is. That's the answer right there. This comes in from the Dashing Dan. Now, he sent us an email that I think might have... not so much offended you, but here we go. Hey guys, over the summer, I asked your opinion on why Seth Rollins gets so much credit. Do you remember this? I have taken your opinions on board, and now I see your point. I went to the Raw taping in Seattle.
We are right.
I went to the Raw taping in Seattle, where Kevin Owens and Elias got mega heat, and his match against Drew was pretty good. It's taken a while, but you've convinced me. I now enjoy Rollins' performance more, so thank you. Now I have an even bigger challenge for you. Can you give me a reason to care about the Revival? At this taping of Raw I attended, I cheered when the B team beat them because I don't like seeing them win, and I'm glad they haven't been given the tag team titles. I see them as a pair of vanilla midgets. I hate that term so much. Hate it with a passion. Who aren't agile enough to be true cruiserweights but are too small to be taken seriously as a contending tag team. The whole no flips just fist gimmick really clearly isn't over with the fans, yet all I read is that they're one of the best tag teams in the world. Why? Because they have technical skills? So do Breezango. They are undeniably fine wrestlers, but they have a trainload of personality and charisma to go with it. I think talking about Breezango. Same goes for the B team. There can be no doubt that Bo and Curtis are fine wrestlers, but they connect with the fans. AOP look intimidating, and the Usos, the Bar, New Day, and even the Good Brothers are all really good wrestlers too, but yet the Revival still get this praise. It baffles me. Using the excuse that they have been booked badly by WWE can't cut it because Rusev Day are badly booked and they got over. Please enlighten me and the Swap Nation, because surely I cannot be the only one.
So they are a throwback act to a different age in tag team wrestling. That's why they're called the Revival. They're bringing that back as a revival. And I am a huge, huge fan of that style of tag team wrestling, which is just cut the ring in two, work over a guy, pick apart body parts. It's great psychology-wise. And I know, so there's the Rusev Day argument, but the Rusev Day got over in spite of WWE. Mm-hmm. It didn't get over because of WWE. So they really, but I guess that plays into your point, actually. The Revival have been really, really badly treated on the main roster. The best answer to this is NXT. just go back and watch their feuds with authors of Pain and DIY.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Just fire up your WWE Network and look at their series they had with DIY, and that and you'll just you'll watch them and be like, oh, this is why everyone thought they were the best tag team or one of the best tag teams in the world, because they were so good. They are incredible storytellers in the ring. They know how to use this throwback style in a modern day setting, which is very difficult to do and get over with a crowd that are so used to big flip-de-doos and whatnot outside the ring. And they work that to their advantage. And it creates these amazing, amazing matches. Their match with DIY at TakeOver Toronto is absolutely exceptional. It's like a 5-star match. It's so, so good. And the triple threat at TakeOver, not New Orleans, was the one before that.
Dallas.
Maybe, I know it wasn't Dallas.
Chicago.
Whichever one it was. It was the one.
Philadelphia.
It was the triple threat with AOP and DIY. Like, that match is absolutely incredible. And it works so well as like the final chapter of that feud they had with DIY. So yeah, that's what I would say is fire up your network.
Or just if I only saw the Revival on Raw,
yeah,
that I'd think the exact same thing as you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the reason we love them is because we know what they can do.
Yes. And one last question comes in from James J. Dillon. This mailbag challenge expands on the topic of wrestlers you like using finishers you hate. A noted example being Bayley's Bayley to belly suplex. So your task is to pick one current wrestler you like in any promotion, male or female, whose finisher you truly dislike. The challenge is to replace that unliked finisher with a better one that is more impactful or suits the wrestler's character better. My choice would be Nia Jax. She hasn't really settled on a finisher that suits her, and the ones she has used, the Samoan drop or standing leg drop, pretty disappointing with someone described as the irresistible force. I would give a Sara Del Rey's Royal Butterfly as a finisher. A savage-looking butterfly hold transitioned into a tossed butterfly suplex. Performing this on smaller opponents would look great and make Nia look really strong. Thanks again for the consistent rambling.
Cesaro uppercut.
There you go.
Your turn.
Ah, damn it. I was trying to think of finishes that I really don't like. Controversially, I'm not a fan of the Rainmaker.
Yeah.
I'm also I'm not.
You want him to use the camel clutch?
Yes, of course, because he's a foreign heel. No, I'm actually going to change that though. I'm going to change it to. I'm going to say the One-Winged Angel. Because I
thought we turned the corner on this. We like it now.
No, you turned a corner on this. Just because you turned a corner on it doesn't mean everyone else did.
It's contrived to get them up there.
Yeah.
Because they have to help you a lot to take that move on themselves.
It looks... I think it looks too... I hate to use the term phony.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, it requires too much of the other person. Like, the Canadian...
And you can't hit it on anyone.
No, the Canadian Destroyer is a move where your opponent has to do just as much work as you do. However, it always looks like PT is the one that's doing the move, not the other guys doing the move on themselves. So I'm going to say the One-Winged Angel. And I almost like... Because I think a lot of Omega's stuff is strike-based. So I almost want, like, another striking finisher. I'd almost think, like, the V-Trigger. Or, like...
V-Trigger's a pick and apart move. Just V-Trigger, V-Trigger, V-Trigger.
Well, what I really like is when he does the knee to the face. You grab both arms and you just bring the...
Very close to Ibushi's finisher.
I know, but you can work that into stories with the Golden Elite. So I don't have an answer for what I would change it to, but I do not like the One-Winged Angel. So anyway, thank you so much for your mailbag questions. We'll have more of those next week.
But just before we get out of here, we've had a delivery, a WrestleCrate delivery.
Hey!
So go over to the link in the video description below to sign up to WrestleCrate and use the code WTTV, where you'll get a free autograph bundle from a current WWE star, from Scott Hall and these guys.
There was a comment that was left on a news episode where I announced this, who said, no offense, but who the hell wants an autograph from you guys?
I agree.
Yeah.
But apparently, there was a space open this month.
Will Ospreay was well busy.
Okay, so first up we have... What have we got here? Dead or Alive. Oh, it's a Hangman Page t-shirt.
T-shirt. How very nice.
This could be the first one for our new backdrop. We're getting a proper backdrop.
Yes. This is not a permanent solution. This is it's a work in progress. That's a cool t-shirt as well.
T-shirt. Looks like Mick Foley's old one.
Yeah, that's very nice.
So,
oh, hello. His Japanese training is going to come into effect here.
I think that's knee. So the next one is...
I'm having that t-shirt, by the way.
A Southern Pro Wrestling divid, and this is called Wrestling on the Edge of the World. Look at that crowd.
Ooh, is it from this show or is it a stock footage?
I would hope it's a... Oh, okay. Based in the South Island of New Zealand, SPW has been making a lot of noise on the edge of the world. That's the name of the thing. This DVD presents some of SPW's best matches from 2018, all leading up to the biggest independent wrestling event in New Zealand in 27 years, the Southern Rumble. Look at this. You've got I don't know these guys. Travis Banks versus Kane Khan. Don't know who that is.
He had to be on the card already, didn't he?
Okay, Travis Banks is the only one I know. But the Down Under is a very interesting place for wrestling right now. Not just because of Super Showdown, but Will Ospreay essentially said, yeah, I'm going to move there because the scene is amazing and I want to bring all these guys up. Your favourites, Aussie Open.
Yep.
Of course, Travis
Love
Banks from New
Aussie
Zealand.
Open. Aussie Open are they're my favourite tag team in the world at the moment. They're so cool.
What's this? It's a compact disc.
You don't see these much these
anymore.
Oh,
Look
man.
at that.
I thought everyone had switched to vinyl. No, really, I thought everyone had switched back to vinyl because that seems to be the in thing at the moment.
It's a very coolly designed.
So what is
it's
it?
called The Music of Hot Tag. To every wrestler I have ever worked with and every fan that has bought, streamed an entrance theme, thank you. I couldn't have done this without you. I hope you enjoy this collection of songs and make sure to always support independent wrestling.
Support Wrestle Talk.
Yeah.
Who we got on there?
We've got, Young and Bitter, Pete Dunne. Emma's Music, Tanil Dashwood, she's called now. Flash Morgan Webster's, CCK's.
Yes, CCK.
Doug Williams's, Nathan Cruz, Anti-Fun Police, Ethan Page, RJ Singh and Ginny.
Lovely stuff. That's actually a really
Ooh.
nice CD.
I'm going to rip it and put it onto the...
I'm actually going to.
Okay.
In fact, I might even start doing that now. There's my...
Have you still got a disc drive?
Of course I have.
I love these ones.
Oh, I can't even get it open.
We've got a little toy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Ooh, there
that
you go.
way.
I managed to get it open.
So this looks like... It's Martina the Moth.
Oh,
No.
session style.
Oh, wow.
that is
Look
adorable.
at that.
That is very lovely.
That is trashy, showing a bit of bra at the top there.
Trashy.
Bra. That's a gimmick.
I know, it's just such a great word. Oh, sorry, I should
And
put that
she's lifting a dumbbell, it looks like. Or is
That's
it one
a-
of those?
No, of course it is.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, that's
What are they
very-
called again?
I'm not even
I'm just
looking
going to
at you.
keep doing
I'm
this
just
for
gonna keep doing
GIF
it.
purposes.
I'm going to put that on my desk. I think that's wicked. Well, I really like these little figures they've got.
They
We need
are
to get those
cool.
back from the old studio.
They're in the boot of my car.
Are they really?
Yeah. They were too awkward to carry.
Oh, because they are small.
Because I had them all in my pockets. And I was like, no, just bring them in later.
I was going to say.
We've
got
got
a really good Chris Brooks one.
Johnny Impact badge. Welcome to Slamtown. It's a bit of a lame. It's cool.
Is Welcome to Slamtown lamer than Best Bout Machine?
Yeah, because they've gone like okay, Suplex City. How can we make a Suplex City? Slamtown.
Slamtown sounds like it's a WWE kids show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
like a
that one.
cartoon show.
But that's cooler. We've got a... Oh, no, it is. I thought the design looked cool. The design looks cooler, but then you read the text. He's the mayor of Slamtown.
Oh, dear
But it's a
me.
cool badge.
It is a cool badge.
Oh, man.
And I actually put these pins on my jacket usually, but I don't think I will be putting that one on. It's a cool badge, though.
Oh, that's the box. That's. I think there's we do have... There's a signed image somewhere. I don't know where I've put it. But that's all we've got time for today. Use the code WTTV in the link below. And of course, Fight Forever Wrestling. Buy tickets for them as well down below in the video description. And click these glorious videos on the page now to go and watch another Wrestle Talk vid. I've been Ollie Davis. This has been Luke Owen. And that was Rambling.